leaders have nothing in their heads, Obasanjo. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo on Monday declared that most Nigerian leaders are empty, saying they lack the knowledge and understanding of the positions they crave. He said, "You will weep for our nation over their level of emptiness as far as development issues are concerned." The elder statesman disclosed that he is in support of necessary reforms as total dismantling would be retrogressive and destructive. While tasking Nigerian leaders to remove the nation's impediments, he lamented that most of the leaders in positions are ready to help the development of the nation. The former president said this in his keynote address speech via video recording at the launch of the book Reclaiming the Jewel of Africa, written by former Minister Olusegun Aganga in Abuja. Obasanjo, in a statement by his special assistant on media, Kehinde Akinyemi, agreed with the author's calls for reforms, saying, however, that total dismantling is destructive and retrogressive. I personally do not think so. I think Nigeria has continuously regressed since at least, let's say, 1999 up till now. So dismantling 23 years of nothing and, being in a deficit and minus when it comes to development is actually work, because it means to get back to zero, which is a balanced level of, okay, we can start building, would also take a lot of work. So dismantling is not retrogressive at all. And not that dismantling as in everyone's separating, but in terms of the constitution and just creating a vision for the identity and the future of Nigerians would be at least an easy point to start. But is it fair to say that we are beyond repair? Why? Because Nigerians internally, we don't see ourselves as one. Because we actually are not one. We have a lot of differences. And so to find similarities with one another would be quite a stretch for some people. And then looking at the hatred of egos, because we have to call it what it is, being so blatant more than ever, not that it did not exist, being more so blatant proves the point that even when it wasn't blatant and the hatred and prejudice was just, not sizzling, but just in the build-up, it would have never even worked anyways to get people to unite, because at this point, I even think the unconscious bias and unconscious prejudice, is actually quite strong, to be very honest. And so you'd find that Nigerians would have been resistant anyways. But yeah, there has to be a smart way to really unite the people, because that's where it starts. The people cannot think of their country as useless, because technically they see themselves as useless, if we're really going to go there. But I think also it's quite a stretch for Obasanjo to now say that all leaders, or most Nigerian leaders, are empty in the brain. Giving his position, I'm not saying anything though. Giving his position, I don't think he can say that, because, listen, we're running on bare minimums. And as a leader, if he was good in office, what he did should have continued with the next administration. But did it? No. You can say it's not his fault. Well, if it's not his fault, then it's the fault of the constitution and the system that exists and be. So, dismantle the system. That's where it is. We need to check the system, because if the system cannot enable progression of development, regardless of who is in office, then what kind of system is that? It just shows that at its core, this system is very selfish and rewards selfishness and pride, grandiosity, show off. Because in the context of having conversations about different administrations, it's usually this one is better than the other. And when a new administration comes into office, it's usually the administration putting blame on the past administration for what they did or did not do. So it just shows that at the end of the day, the system does not allow for genuine leaders. And that's why you have, given the elections, you clearly have Peter Obi and Tinubu, and guess who won? Exactly. So, and I'm not saying that Peter Obi is a saint and he's from heaven, but the country had a choice to make. Regardless, yes, there are obviously allegations and to some extent evidence of Tinubu's and APC's rigging and non-compliance as defined by the Electoral Act, but you can't deny that Tinubu definitely had supporters, and we have regressed, because if, given how polarized the elections were, and then Tinubu won, it just shows that Nigerians, given a choice, we clearly make that choice for sure. Yeah, put what you think about this in the comment section below, and do not forget to like and subscribe.